Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator. Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Plus, for a limited time, use promo code MUHoliday24 and save $50 off your subscription. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about comic books, costumes, facts, boots, and other stuff.
In this week's issue, World's Finest Wednesday.
And another thing, Griffith did nothing wrong.
What? Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach. You heard Mason joining us again. He hung around after we did Scarlet.
He did.
He wanted more punishment apparently, as we have
I got
on
nothing
Wednesday
better
episode.
to do with my time.
Well, and then also joined by the marvelous one, Mr. Mike himself, which I feel like I use marvelous a lot, but it just works well.
I don't care.
What did you say, Mason?
Oh no, just anyone who's read any manga will get what I said.
Okay.
Anybody who's ever read any manga is not listening to this.
Potentially,
That's
you know,
not
they
true.
listen to it
I
from
think
the back
I think there's
forward.
crossover.
yeah, there's crossover,
They listen to
and
it
I will say it
back.
again, and I don't take it back. Griffith did nothing wrong,
I don't know
Okay.
what you're
and I'm
talking
100% serious.
All right. I believe what
So-
Mason says to be accurate.
about. On this intro,
Yes.
I recorded a thing where it's World's Finest Wednesday, all that.
Yeah.
I get a lot of crap because I also recorded a Best Buy commercial
Yeah.
at one point,
Yeah.
and at the end of that commercial, I say today like that.
No, I know exactly
Yeah.
the commercial you're talking about. Yeah.
I get a lot of crap for that.
Yeah.
It-
I
I don't.
He's a
I
guy
like
who-
it. I like
these are
your World's
mostly
Finest
because
Wednesday.
I'm either tired or I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Like,
I
end
asked
of the
you to go
day,
over the top for it when we
Yeah,
recorded that one.
probably.
And can I say one more thing, Zach?
No.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, I don't think you take this however you will, Mike.
Okay.
You look like the kind of guy who would buy a toaster at Best Buy.
A toaster at Best. No, I would buy a
think Big
toaster at
Lots,
Walmart.
honestly.
Yeah.
Or Walmart.
I don't go in Big Lots. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't like the way they do business.
You don't like.
I don't like big, and I don't like lots.
I was gonna say you.
I mean, they are about
like
to close. This one's
medium,
closing here. So.
medium stalls. I don't know.
like
Sorry, I'll
I
stop
like-
interrupting.
No, you're
medium
good.
parking spaces.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes.
Oh yeah, we're doing a show.
Yeah, World's Finest Wednesday, and we have another episode involving Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, which
Aw.
these have been we did one last week with Superman going back in time to get rid of Lois because he thought that, hey, if I don't have to save her, my life will be easier. We have another one that we'll get to that's just as ridiculous. Before we dive into that, if you haven't listened to this week's episode of the show, go back and do that. On Monday, we covered Scarlet from 1993, which was a DC comic, which we kind of turned into a radio drama, a full-on Southern radio drama without even meaning to.
Yeah.
And it was a blast, but it was also the last of our 3 books from our
Daddy,
kind of
leave
You
me
Decide
be.
series that we were doing. Let me bring this up real quick so I can get like real-time voting for when we're recording this.
Very nice.
But if you go to our YouTube channel right now, you can go and you can vote between the 3 options we have that we covered of the one that we will go ahead and do a deeper dive into here in the upcoming weeks.
Fish, chicken, and what's the third option?
No, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, Cops, and then Scarlet we just finished.
Oh.
I can tell you right now with the votes that are in, Mike, you're not going to like it. Guardians of the Galaxy is 55% of the
Oh,
vote.
I'm sure.
The other 2 are
I'm
split.
sure.
Cops and Scarlet are split at 23%. But go ahead and go
I feel
vote
like
if you haven't yet there.
I feel like a lot of time these shows are like my purgatory. You know, whatever I don't like, that's what I'm going to get more of.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is maybe you shouldn't specify which ones you don't like in that.
Whatever.
Well, I
I'll
kind of
take
did in the voting, so maybe that's why they're voting for it too.
I'll take it.
I
But
don't like $1 million.
Just make sure you vote, kids.
yeah, go vote. But what we have this week is our World's
Not for
Finest
president
Wednesday.
or anything. Vote for comic books.
Well, you should have gotten out and voted, and maybe we wouldn't be.
Oh, well.
Anyway, so Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane.
Look at her there.
Number 59. Here's the thing: the cover is a Curt Schaffenberger cover. In case you want to know that. But this episode,
How do you like
issue,
your Schaffenberger?
I like it, Curt. This issue is
Nice
filled.
job.
Thank you. Is filled with another story that I almost covered that we will get to. As you can see, that essentially Lois. It says it's a real, not an imaginary story. But Lois goes
What?
back
They're
in
all
time.
Imaginary stories.
But Lois goes back and starts macking on Jor-El, Superman's dad,
What?
back on Krypton.
What the?
Harlot.
Yeah, because she's like, I'll get a Superman somehow, kind of
It
essentially.
still just bugs
So-
me that it says.
Wait, actually,
girl.
wait. If it was on
friend.
Krypton, he'd be just a normal human, basically.
He's just a dude.
We'll get to that.
The
Yeah, it is.
snappy dresser, though.
Well,
Look at him.
I think that they're purposely trying to specify that they would put it together if they were in a relationship, but they're not in a relationship, so it's girl space friend. I think that's the reasoning behind it, is my thought. Because what Lois loves to do back in these comics, folks, because you got to love when, a lot of times when middle-aged men were writing comic book stories for women, specifically Lois, it evolves around trying to get Superman to marry her, and that is exactly what the story is today. But it is also called Superman and Batman's Joke on Lois Lane, Mike.
These are supposed to be our heroes.
These are our heroes, and they're busy pulling jokes and japes. We'll get into it a little bit. I do love when a splash page kind of does actually tell you something that's going to happen in the story, and it's not just like there to be completely sell whatever isn't
Isolated.
going to happen in the story. Yeah, like a lot of times it'll be like, oh, look, there's Batman fighting a ghost, and then a ghost will never appear, kind of in it, and they're just like selling a point. This is actually a scene from the story.
Is that a wadded up horse he's holding, or what is that?
Where?
What is that white thing he's
A
holding?
shirt. It's a dress
Oh.
shirt. A wadded up horse.
Well, it looks like a hoof.
Do I need to make it full screen for you?
No. You're good. You're good. I just have to focus my old ass eyes. That's all it is.
I wonder if
Okay.
those pants are actually orange or are they just originally brown? Just the
I
color
think they're
faded?
brown and the color faded because the
Yeah.
suit jacket kind of matches it. So what
The
we
jacket
see there,
matches the drapes. If
it
you know
does.
what I mean.
Hey, so what we start here is like Lois sees that, oh, Superman thinks I'm unconscious and he doesn't know I'm seeing him change back to a secret identity of Bruce Wayne.
While he rides
like-
that wadded up horse.
He's like, well, after I lure Bruce into marrying me, Superman will be mine.
God, that's all.
And then we see Bruce, and then we see Bruce say, how odd it feels to be disguised as Superman instead of my usual secret identity of Batman.
Wait,
But
wait.
I promised Superman I'd masquerade as him and protect Lois while he was away on a mission. Now that I've saved her, I'll leave. And that is the tease for
So-
the story we're about to get
So
into.
that explains the mask.
Yeah, that's why he has a
Because I
mask.
just saw the mask.
Also, to me, like when I see masks like that, I just think of like those Richard Nixon masks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so I just think around about Bruce
Nixon.
Wayne just like walking around with like a fake, like loose, like rubbery mask, and Lois just being like, "Oh, Superman," and not being able to tell.
Gosh,
She's a woman. She can't. She's not that.
That's
smart.
what they want you to think on this, man. Anyway,
I'm just offended that women are scuba diving.
oh
in
well,
this story.
you mean skin diving?
Hey,
Well, no. The reason I'll say that is that'll come up next week. I'm preparing you for something. I'm
Okay.
planting a seed. You'll see.
I'm being groomed for next week's
Ooh,
story.
let's not say that.
Oh,
That
okay.
was weird. But Lois one afternoon is at the Metropolis Park,
Uh-huh.
and she goes, let's see essentially if this tip that I got, that there's an airtight box located at the bottom of the lake that has all these hidden like bank
What?
robbery loot.
What are we
It
talking
goes-
about?
It goes, I'll soon know if the tip I got that the money from yesterday's big bank robbery is hidden in a watertight box at the bottom of this lake is on the level.
What freaking narc just tells her this?
It has to be somebody who was involved with a robbery, I think.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Like, why would they tell her?
I don't know. So Lois dives in and she starts swimming down
She's
there.
a woman. She'll never
and
go
she's
down
like,
there.
oh, I found it. Oh, cramp. She
Oh, she
catches
got the
cramp.
binge.
Is she working for the Daily Planet by this point, or is
Yes.
this not a step?
Yeah, she's still working for the Daily Planet.
So why the hell would a bank robber tell a
A
journalist.
newspaper journalist of where the loot is, unless somebody saw it. But yeah, the thing is, Lois dives under in the lake in the water there to find it, and she catches a cramp while she's down there. But don't worry, Superman's there to save her right before she blacks out.
God.
And he carries her onto shore. Like he flies her out of the water and he sets her down with that box. But then moments afterwards, as Lois is kind of coming to, she notices that why? That's Bruce Wayne, the wealthy Gotham City playboy. We get the scene from the splash page of like Bruce taking the mask off and like putting his Bruce Wayne attire back on, which, by the way, we've talked about it before. I know it might be an uncommon opinion or not everybody agrees on it. I think that Batman is more the actual person and Bruce Wayne is like the secret identity.
Oh, I agree.
Oh yeah, totally.
But
I just want to know, how did he? Because Batman's a human. How did he make that big ass leap from the middle of the lake?
All right, so I have an explanation
I've
for
ever
that.
seen Lois Lane look though.
Yeah,
that looks like she has no clue about anything.
Well, just wait. There's a lot of this going on.
Okay.
So he goes to leave, and she goes, he drove off in his car. I can't believe it. Bruce Wayne is Superman. Lois, you're a lucky girl. You've just stumbled onto a bit of inside information that'll change you from Lois Lane into Miss Lois Superman. That's right. I think she thinks his name is Superman, honestly, to begin with. Because she's going to be Miss Lois Superman. Or I thought she'd be like Miss Lois Man. Like she thinks his first name is Super. But it has to be if she's Miss Lois
First
Superman.
name Super, last name Man.
So does his first name just blank and he just has a last name. Anyway, it goes, I do love, here's what I like about this panel at the bottom, though. It goes, would Lois be amazed if she could read Bruce's thoughts as he drove towards Gotham City? And Bruce says, like, no wonder Superman asked me to disguise myself as him while he took off on his space mission. The
Why did that catch me so funny? He went off on his space mission.
The anti-gravity belt he gave me.
Dear God, it gets worse. ...
And then it moves from one panel to the next panel when they could have easily put more text there. And it just goes, enables me to fly along. Like they pick up the sentence.
It's on the same page too. I get it if it was like this last panel.
But it's the next one over. Yeah. They could have. Anyway, he has an anti-gravity belt. That's how he's able to do it. To look like Superman. Superman gave him this anti-gravity belt while he's on his space mission.
Why does Superman need an anti-gravity belt?
No, he has it to give Batman.
Well, I understand, but why does he have it to begin with?
In case he wants Batman to fill in for him.
Okay.
No, because the fight against super gravity.
Because he hates gravity.
That's why he fights against super gravity.
I, son of Jor-El, hate gravity.
So Lois, being typical Lois, is already in her swooning stage, and so she's like back at her apartment thinking about, once I marry Superman, like all of that stuff. Well, it has like her daydreaming, and it says, and on our honeymoon, and it shows Bruce Wayne, I guess, like unbuttoning a shirt and showing the Superman logo underneath it. And he goes, surprise, darling, I'm secretly Superman. And Lois goes, and to think I never suspected. And then it goes, I practiced this wide-eyed look of amazement in front of a mirror for hours.
Oh my God.
So she's like, I'm going to practice my lying face to him too. So he'll never know.
I have nothing to do.
Oh, it's just like, it's the same. I just don't understand it. Like Lisa Landis last week of like, if I expose his secret identity, he'll love me.
No, he'll put you in jail. Is what'll happen.
Well, I don't know about that.
Throw you into space.
Tyrant Superman might, but this Superman seems to be. Well, hold on. This Superman not so much. This Batman.
I like how
they're both weird. We'll get into it.
Okay, go for it.
So the next day, back in Gotham City, Bruce is back to being Batman because like he's back at home. I'm not going to pretend to be Superman in Gotham.
No, stupid.
Yeah, that's silly. So he busts in and he like stops these jewel thieves. Then,
well, no, he doesn't stop them.
He
conks their heads together.
Conks their heads together
like a Three Stooges.
He does take their head and just conk them together. After that, though, it shows that Lois Lane
comes rolling in. Batman. Burnt toast and a rotten egg.
Here's the thing that pops up later. Where is that?
Burnt toast and a rotten egg?
No. Where Robin's at? Robin's on vacation.
Okay. You know why they say burnt toast and a rotten egg?
10-year-old's on vacation.
He's got a tapeworm. It's good enough for him. That's a Three Stooges quote. Oh, you're welcome.
All right, thank you. I never watched much Three Stooges. A little bit before my time.
Like what, a year?
Woo. 2. So But Robin is on vacation. Yes, a 10-year-old is on vacation, and that's also something to remember, Mike.
Wait, he's 10?
Well, Robin said.
Okay.
I mean, Robin Mason said he's 10, and at some point in time, he probably was like
He's
that
old.
young.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming everyone was 10 at one
Well,
point.
no, but I mean, like he's probably fighting crime at like 12. I think it's weird.
Okay.
Don't think about how old Robin is. in
No,
some of
I'm
these
not
stories.
going to.
So, back at Wayne Manor, after he stops these jewel thieves, Lois shows up with her scheme, and she's like, "Mr. Wayne, I'm Lois Lane with the Daily Planet. Like, because you're one of these city's leading citizens, that I'm able to do like an expose on you, like to follow you around and write about all your charitable givings and all your businesses and stuff, and hoping that maybe other rich people start giving to good causes."
Oh, if only.
And so Batman or Bruce is like, "Yeah, sure." And he's thinking to himself, that'll also give me a reason to be able to keep an eye on Lois then for Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So they go out. Oh, he has a phone call and he goes, "Excuse me while I go take this phone call." And Lois, being typical Lois, decides to snoop around and notices there's a Batman costume in the closet. Which, first of all, why would you just keep it in like the front hall closet? Of like, I get like
Yeah, I
needing
don't
to get to it
understand.
close.
Yeah.
But she's like, here's also Lois's immediate thought. Aha, a Batman costume is in this closet. Superman probably helps Batman out sometimes, masquerading
so Batman
as
has
him.
to have a place to store his shit. Is that what she's thinking?
She's thinking that
Is the
no,
Batcave
Bruce
public
Wayne.
knowledge?
I don't think so. But Lois is thinking that Bruce Wayne is Superman, and to help out Batman, he has this spare Batman costume to like fill in for him. Essentially,
She's a reporter, by the way.
essentially what Batman is doing for Superman. She just thinks the opposite. Then,
Wait,
as-
one last thing.
yeah.
You know what's a funny thought I sometimes have? You know, you ever wonder, like,
How
in
the
the
spork was
DC
made?
in the DC universe, how many people just have like Batman costumes just like in their
A
closet?
lot of
oh, a lot
them.
of
A
people.
lot of them.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, some dumbass just opens their
It's
closet.
always the
someone's
number
closet's
one thing on Halloween.
Well,
"Hey,
that's
Batman?"
why I always kind of thought it was funny, or I liked it in the Across the Spider-Verse when Miles goes and buys a Spider-Man costume from like the store there, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So it's like you have to think that like in the world where they exist, there's also costumes on that. Yeah, like
Halloween Town.
people are wearing Batman shirts in the world that Batman exists. It's very much in an odd way, like that aspect of the boys in a sense, except there's not.
Well, it's kind of like a sport.
Except
Well,
they're
you know,
actually
it's like a-
heroes. you
Well,
know.
here's the thing too, though. We say this. Who's making these costumes? Our company's just being like, well, nobody has the rights to this, so we're just gonna print
Yeah,
them?
you can't make Bruce Wayne can't take the copyright
Yeah.
of the Batman
So,
costume.
like,
because
anybody can-
portrait work.
You're gonna get some very shoddily made Batman stuff merch out
Oh,
there.
you know, I just realized Lex Luthor owns the trademark for all Superman IP.
Does he really?
I would imagine that'd be pretty awesome if he did. That way he can make money off of Superman.
That-
total sense.
oh,
That makes total
trademark.
sense, though.
dude, why
Yeah.
has that not been a story?
He probably
Well,
has.
it's in the
we
new
just haven't
James
thought
Gunn
about
movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
but I'm
it's in
telling you,
there.
like that would be so like. Obviously, Superman's not going to take anything from it.
it. Mhm.
So Luther, then all the good Superman does, like that's the thing.
Yeah, he gets to feed off of it.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, look at us. We're gonna have to see if that goes into anything. Anything. Back to our. I don't think I made that sentence make sense. We're gonna have to look to see if that's ever been done before.
Sure.
Back to our World's Finest Wednesday. So Bruce and Lois are now walking to go view some of his businesses, and Bruce rolls his ankle,
Okay.
and he's like, "Ah, I slipped on a stone, wretched my ankle." And Lois thinks to herself, "How clever! Superman is pretending he isn't invulnerable, so I won't suspect his secret." And then while they're at a steel mill, which is one part that Bruce has part ownership in, and they're
Of
looking at
course.
all the steel mill stuff, because why not take Lois to a steel mill? Batman notices one of the jewels from the jewel thieves earlier.
Gals love steel mills.
They do.
Oh.
One of the diamonds
Steel
was
cut oats.
in his pocket still.
Steel, the movie with Shaquille O'Neal in it.
Yeah,
They love it all.
that's all the still.
That's all the steals.
But Batman notices he has one of the diamonds from the jewel robbery, like in his jacket pocket. He's like, I got to send this back. Well, he accidentally drops it an hour later after he realizes he has it. He drops it right as Lois is like, oh, I just remembered today's my friend Lana Lang's birthday and I didn't send her anything. And Batman goes, oh, well, I found a diamond. Send this to Lana, special delivery. And he goes, I slipped it out of my pocket unnoticed. I'll send a sufficient amount of money anonymously to the jeweler it was stolen from. So he's giving away somebody else's diamond now as a birthday present. and he's going to donate money to them to be able to cover it up. All the while, Lois thinks that while her back was turned,
That's just flat ass stealing.
It
right?
is.
Okay.
While Lois thinks that while his back was turned, he instead grabbed a piece of coal and held it in his hand until it became a diamond.
Yeah.
Because she still thinks he's Superman.
Okay.
So Batman invites Lois to dinner, thinking, hey, this will be a good way for me to still keep an eye on her. And they go out to, it says, that night at a swanky restaurant with Wild West decor. Because when I think of swanky restaurants, I think of Wild West decor. And a woman wearing an eye patch, a server with an eye patch, dressed like a cowboy, comes up with a gun to the table and goes, don't move, as she holds the gun there. And Batman thinks, look out, that masked woman has a gun. As Batman,
because he doesn't understand the theme of the fucking restaurant. Really?
And he goes, as Batman, I've been on the trail of the international spy, Tiger Lily.
Oh my God.
Perhaps she's learned my secret identity. And about that time he thinks that, the woman goes, your photographs will be ready soon. And he goes, oh, that's a camera girl. I thought
the gun is a camera.
And Lois goes, you can get up from behind the table now, Bruce, you clever rascal. So here's the thing, too. Even if he thought it was a real gun, he dove out of the way to let her shoot Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's he care?
I'm also going to assume that this cowgirl has a peg leg, since I can't see her legs.
But she has an eye patch.
An eye patch and a peg leg.
But then Lois,
and dressed like a cowboy.
And Lois, after all that, of course, you knew the gun was a camera all along. Your X-ray vision revealed that to you. You pretended to fear it, so I wouldn't guess you were Superman, who can't be injured by mere bullets.
You know, she is dumb
rascal,
because she is horny. Horniness makes people dumb.
You think she just
celibate
wants
people.
to bang Superman? That could be it too. I don't know. He is handsome. Or in this case, I guess Bruce is too.
Yeah,
Bruce has all the money in the world.
But here's the thing. She is obviously more into Superman than she is into Bruce. She
but
just
I'm
wants
saying,
the idea of her being
why wouldn't
Superman.
you hit up Bruce? He's got all the cash.
Well, he's both.
Gone all the time.
Yeah, but Superman can fly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So can he. He's got an anti-gravity belt.
She don't know that.
She saw him fly.
Oh man. So both Bruce and Lois are having a wonderful time.
When does that comic book come out called That Bitch Lois Lane? When does that happen?
Wow. No.
It's just about her being stupid.
Because she's bad. No, it is not her fault. That's the thing. She is written so poorly during the Silver Age.
Okay, wait a minute. Just think about what you just said. It's not her fault because she's written poorly. You're like,
it's middle-aged men trying to write for.
But I'm saying you're like Jessica Rabbit's agent. All of a sudden, you're like, it's not my fault. I'm just drawing poorly.
Well, again, still, my point is, it's not on Lois Lane the character. I don't think Lois Lane the character.
Bitch Lois Lane.
Oh,
coming this fall on UPN.
So. So they're dancing, and Lois thinks to herself, "Man, once I'm married to Superman, we'll go dancing often."
Oh boy!
And then
Superman loves to dance,
and then apparently
everybody knows that.
And then as they leave, they both recognize that man. And Lois goes, "He's wanted by the police. Follow him, Bruce. Like, let's see where he's going.
Get him."
And Bruce goes, "Well, thinks to himself, as Batman, I'm kind of interested in this too, so I'll go ahead and follow him."
Sure.
So they follow them to this old warehouse, and they sneak into the warehouse.
There he is.
And while they're there, he also goes, before he gets out, Bruce thinks to himself again, no wonder Superman asked me to watch Lois. She's a born trouble finder.
She's a born troublemaker.
And finder.
I mean, that does fit modern Lois a little bit. You know,
yeah,
she
Lois,
go
yeah.
into danger.
Lois is very much like, I know she existed before, but I just think of like Mary Jane in the Spider-Man video game.
Is that
it's like she just goes and gets into.
Is that all of the coats?
That's all the coats in Gotham. So soon inside the warehouse, they see that they have all these stolen fur coats.
Oh, yeah.
As Lois and Bruce are overhearing it. But somebody sneaks up behind them with a gun, and they tie up Lois, and they throw her boyfriend, Bruce Wayne,
I
into
don't
the
worry
freezer.
about it, Bruce. It's just a camera.
And they throw Bruce into a freezer and lock it.
In a freezer.
Which I don't know why there's fur coats in the freezer with him.
Yeah, well,
right.
You got to keep those fur coats cold. I don't know. If
do they
about
shed
fur,
if they're not
yeah.
if they're not cold?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's like freezing. Bruce is in there, and he's like, I can't put this lock, and I can't open it. Like, how do I figure? Like, what do I do? Like, I need to, or I'm going to freeze to death if I don't figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And so all the bad guys are taking the coats, and they're just leaving her there, and they're like, all right, by now your boyfriend's probably frozen to death. Like, we got to go get the stuff out of our other warehouse. You just stay here. They're just going to leave her tied up.
Just stay here.
Yeah.
Just stay here, lady.
And she
Come on.
goes, that's what you think. Mere cold can't harm Superman. He doesn't dare go into action yet for fear I'd guess his identity, but he'll take charge of you characters later. So she's thinking,
Yeah.
nope, he's locked in the freezer. Only reason he hasn't popped out yet is because he doesn't want me to think that he's actually Batman.
Superman.
Yeah,
Gotta
he's
keep
actually
thinking.
Superman.
Gotta
So-
keep thinking.
Thankfully,
Oh, good, a kiss.
Bruce grabs one of the fur coats and wears it. And he's like, man, if I hadn't slipped on this fur coat, I'd have frozen long ago.
Oh my god.
Even with the instruments in my tool belt or my utility belt, this sure is a tough lock to pick. So wearing a fur coat, he picks the lock using his Batman skills, and he gets out and he goes to rescue Lois. And she goes, I bet you he really forced that lock open with his super strength.
Oh,
like, that's what
boy.
she thinks. And she goes to hug him, and he goes, I guess desperation helped me succeed. And she goes, I'm happy you didn't freeze to death. And then she goes, he isn't cold despite all that time in the freezer. Another giveaway that he's Superman. And it has in the yellow box down there. Of course, Lois doesn't know Bruce wore a fur coat.
Though we took the time to take it off.
Oh, she didn't know.
Bruce, I love you, but you smell like squirrel.
Oh, he was still warm. After that, they go and report that to the police. Of like, hey, we saw these bad guys with their fur coats and all that. And then she goes, and now for positive thinking, as they go to kiss on the good night. And she goes, marry me, Superman, marry me, Superman. Like, that's what she's thinking. Bruce goes back home and he's like, man, now that Lois is returning to Metropolis, I'll switch to Batman and go after those fur thieves that got away.
Well,
And he
you
goes,
missed what she said here. He goes, she's cute, she's smart, she can dance, and she can kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Superman will marry her someday.
That's the thing. No. He goes, she can kiss. Maybe my pal Superman will marry her someday. It's a weird
While
thing.
he's kissing her.
Yes, it's a weird thing to think of. Like, man, lady, I'm kissing you, but man, my friend would be really lucky if he can marry you.
Is this the first comic book three-way?
Maybe.
What is this?
We haven't got to it yet.
Oh, okay.
Superman got cucked.
Yeah, by Batman. So anyway, Batman's back and he's like, now that Lois is returning to Metropolis, like, I'll go as Batman to get these fur thieves. Wait, I have an even better idea. What do you think that better idea might be, Mike?
He's gonna be Superman.
He is going to be Superman. And he shows up because he's like, as soon as Superman shows up, all the bad guys are like, nope, we're good. Do whatever you want to do. We don't want to mess with Superman.
Sorry,
That is
Superman.
honestly what happens.
Sorry, Superman.
He's
Didn't mean
just
to.
like, I don't feel like putting in the work.
I'd like to go to jail now, please.
Yeah. He's like, I don't feel like putting in the work.
Okay,
so,
hang on. Is this guy Superman or Batman?
It's Batman. It's Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
It's Bruce
Okay,
Wayne
okay.
dressed up as Superman.
I'm very confused. I'm sorry.
Okay, real Superman's about to show up.
I got you.
And so all the fur thieves, they just kind of are like, all right, we surrender to Batman as Superman.
I
Because
never
they don't
liked
want to mess
furs
with
anyway.
Superman. Yeah, they're like, oh, I don't know.
Don't
Do whatever you want to do.
Don't want it.
So then it says later in the Metropolis apartment, Lois shares with her sister, Lucy, and it just says, newsflash, Superman just captured a gang of fur thieves in Gotham City. And Lois is so giddy, and she's like, I knew Bruce would nab them or would nab them as Superman. He doesn't know I recently saw him switch identities. By marrying Bruce Wayne, I'll be Miss Superman. Again, because she thinks his name is Superman.
Or Bruce Superman.
Or Bruce Superman, I guess.
God almighty.
Her sister just goes, clever Lois. Like, she doesn't have time to talk. Just like, yeah, clever Lois. That's cool.
Clever, Lois. I guess you're wearing white, huh?
Yeah. And it's just her sister's face just like silhouetted out, which is kind of weird too. Because in the forefront, but then it says, unknown to Lois, the real Superman has returned and has aligned near her window a few minutes earlier. Why that little schemer? She plans to marry Bruce Wayne because she thinks he is Superman, eh? I have an idea.
Superman's a creep. Look at him just looking at her.
Also, remember how I told you the story was Batman and Superman's joke on Lois Lane?
Yeah.
This is a 9-page story. We were on page 8. We still have not got the joke yet, right?
Oh,
Adler?
God.
Yeah.
So next morning, after Lois receives candy and flowers sent by Bruce, and Bruce is there, and he goes, I haven't been able to get you out of my mind, and I realize I love you. Please say you'll marry me, Lois. And she's like, of course I will, Bruce. I didn't expect it to be so fast. Like, she goes, I didn't think I'd succeed so fast.
Yeah.
And then it says, presently on Lois's wedding day,
Didn't even have to put out.
yeah, it's like, isn't she beautiful? Bruce looks so handsome. Soon I'll be the bride of Superman. And then as she gets to the altar, but shortly, here's Superman. He's going to be my best man. And Lois goes, best man? Then Bruce can't be Superman. I better finding out what's going on. Bruce, I must speak to you alone at once. And so she pulls Bruce away.
Okay.
And they go, and she goes, minutes later in a room off the chapel, after Lois tells how she'd seen Bruce remove the Superman costume, here is Bruce's reply.
Look at him laughing down there.
She goes, I can't marry you if you aren't Superman because it's him I love now. And Bruce goes, I've long admired Superman.
But you've been hanging out with me this whole time.
I offered to donate $50,000 to charity if he allowed me to be Superman for a week. He loaned me his costume and an anti-gravity belt.
God.
And then Lois, being the reporter that she is, goes, wait, I just thought of something. While in your mansion, I snooped and saw a Batman costume in your closet. Explain that. And quick on his feet, Bruce Wayne goes, I made a similar deal with Batman. Next week, I'm to masquerade as him. Please don't give it away. And he goes, whew, that took quick thinking. That is his great idea. Is, hey, I paid $50,000 to be Superman for a week. What about that Batman costume I found? I also paid him $50,000 to be Batman for a week. Man, I really got her.
Our heroes are just really lazy. They freelance.
They are. Lois is heartbroken.
Yeah.
And she feels bad for
she literally goes,
being
I'm
such a rat
hearted
for toying with your affection. Try to forgive me, Bruce. Sob, sob. And then it says, so the wedding ceremony is called off later in Bruce's mansion. And Bruce goes, Lois doesn't know that you told me about her scheme to lure me into marriage. So we planned that wedding with you showing up as best man. And Superman, with the most alpha bro laugh, just that he has, just goes, Lois will never know she almost married Batman.
That bitch Lois Lane.
This fall on HBO Max. So there you go.
We can cuss.
That's it.
That sucks.
Superman girlfriend. Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, number 59. You know, I never gave the credit for it after you said it sucked. I always feel bad.
It doesn't suck.
I don't. Here's the thing.
Yet
on the notes that I have, I do not have who wrote it. I have the penciler and the inker, which the art's fine.
I think it was a 9-year-old that won a contest.
It's Curt Swan. So Curt Swan is just pinnacle Superman art, especially at this time.
Yeah, I mean the art is nice.
And George Klein's the inker.
I just feel bad that he got probably paid crap for this crap story.
Well, it is a crap story, so
but such a good art.
It is good art. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So there you go.
Man, I'm dizzy from changing sides there.
Well, I do it so I can when I do it to close out, I can turn to talk.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was.
Now, what if I just never look at you?
Oh, then it was pointless for that. But that was Superman and Batman's joke on Lois Lane.
Well, that was
Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, issue number 59 from August of 1965.
In the final issue, does she finally become wife of Superman?
I don't know.
That'd be disappointing if she just stays his.
Well, they were
even dating at this point.
Well, you know the story. No, you know the story about Death of Superman, right? So they wanted. Well, I'll just tell it. I could be off a little bit, but in the comics they wanted to have Superman and
killed
Lois
himself
marry.
to get away from her.
No, they wanted to have them marry, and they're like, you can't do it. They're going to do that in Lois and Clark, or they were going to have them break. There was something that was going to happen, and they couldn't do whatever they wanted to do with their relationship because of the TV show Lois and Clark. So they're like, oh, okay, well then, we'll just kill them then.
Synergy's
that's honestly what it.
I
mean, there's more to it than
I really thought,
but I just tried to make it short.
Yeah,
there's a little bit more. I just tried to make it short.
Well, that was fun.
Was it?
Sure.
What if I tell you I can tease next Wednesdays already for you too? Next Wednesdays is Batman's college years.
Oh,
yeah,
I love it when he was running back for the
name of that
Utah
story
Utes.
Is Batman's college days, and we will dive into that next Wednesday. Monday, you know what? I honestly don't know what we're gonna do for Monday. I have a couple ideas, but you'll have to tune in to see. So
can I tease something for the future still?
Yes.
So remember how we made that promise? We're gonna watch Fantastic sometime this year. Now I know it's on Disney Plus, but on that it's just the movie.
What?
But
what are we talking about? What are we watching?
Fantastic Four 2015.
Oh, no,
it could be just. It can't just be me and Zach. But
Have
I
you
want
seen
you
it?
there, Mike.
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Have you seen it? Though?
No, I
haven't either.
I don't want to see it.
Well, that's the thing is we're supposed to be. All right.
No.
What were you gonna say, Miss?
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
It is
It's right over there. This is not a highly produced show. We're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. He came in needing some paperwork.
Oh,
We're like,
okay.
it's right
There
over
we
there.
go.
We were like that close to finishing, and I was going to run it up there.
Here, let me make sure you did it right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're having Mike's
Oh,
paperwork check. Sweet.
paperwork
Mike's
chat.
good. He passed. He passed.
Paperwork chat. That's great. Good
Uh,
show.
But I'm still gonna try to find the Blu-ray if it's ever available. I found the DVD. It was $6,
They still
okay.
make those?
and it has
Commentary?
not commentary. It has special features. It's like one of them is like explaining their powers.
It has
I
Michael
wanna-
Chiklis
I wanna
on it going, I could have done better.
No, this is the one with Michael B. Jordan,
I
Jamie
know, that's
Bell.
what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, Miles
You got Michael
Teller.
Chiklis in the voiceovers at the end going, I could have done better.
That's all the commentary is.
Yeah.
It's just him that I could have done better.
I want.
that
No, I don't
sucks.
think it did have a commentary because the story of behind this production is so
Remember when I was on the Shield?
so insane.
Yeah.
But
no.
I have the DVD, so one day, whenever we do it, I'm gonna bring my Blu-ray player. We're gonna play it. And we're gonna watch the thing.
I have
And we
a-
can watch the special features.
We'll have to-
so much.
We'll have to do it up here, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, like, how will we? I guess we'll take the chairs. I love how this is definitely great for the audio people.
Planning.
Well, actually, the video people don't say what we're doing. Never mind. We'll figure it out off the. But yeah, so we'll
So
watch that. too.
I really want to watch this. I really just want to watch this movie with Zach. I want to see him. get
Okay.
pissed off.
I've never. Oh, here's. So did we
I'm not going to
see?
get in the way of y'all's date.
Did we see? And I'll close out with this just because it fits with what he's seeing that we got. And I almost sent it to Mike. I didn't send it to Mason because I know Mason doesn't want spoilers on stuff. That they essentially told us the plot or what could be. We don't know for sure.
I did see the newer.
A Fantastic Four of what the plot
no, I
is
didn't
for
see
it.
that.
I mean, no, we're getting Silver Surfer. We're getting Galactus. I'm
Uh,
guessing they're trapped in the multiverse.
I mean, we'll talk off here. I won't get
Okay.
the spoilers on here, but yeah. All right. So that's this week's World Finest Wednesdays. Tune in Monday for a new Bros.
Reed
Go
Richards
back,
is a drug kingpin in this one.
go back and vote for our You Decide if you haven't yet of what issue we should dive in deeper there on our YouTube page. Go back and listen to 3 issues we have. Our most recent one being Scarlet, which was a lot of fun, if anything, just to do voices throughout the thing. I think you'll have a blast listening to that. I don't think I left anything off. Make sure to check out the Rogue Media Network family of podcasts.
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
And until next time,
Mark Miller is the best comic book writer of all time, plus infinity.
Whoa, no, sir.
I don't know what's happening. Golly Con.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.